do, Mr. Kipps? Pick this up at the station for you.
Thanks. New line I've been expecting.
Lovely weather.
Oh, I could do with some rain, lay the dust.
We could that. Good day.
Don't handle the stock. Hey, that's it ever then. You hear what I said?
Yes, I've got the use of both ears.
It's always the same. If you must beat your mat, why do you want to do it in front of my shop?
I'll beat my mat where I like. It's not a habit of mine to let sleeping dust slide like some folks I could mention.
I'll have the law on you for that, Pornick. It's hard enough to keep my customers as it is without your blasted junk shop next door.
Oh, so this is a junk shop, is it? And what do you call that tuppeny halfpenny collection of fly-blown paper doilies and tin-pot German kettle drums? Shuttle beds, I suppose, and adage.
You shut up, see? You're a disgrace to the neighbourhood, that's what you are.
Oh? If that's what you think, why do you let your young heart hang around the back fence after my Sid?
In the first place, he don't. And in the second, let me tell you that my nephew is leaving for Folkestone tomorrow, so the matter don't arise no more.
Oh, yes, gonna make a draper of him, I hear. You've got some comical idea.
Let me tell you that my nephew...
Don't you nephew me as if he really was your nephew?
What are you casting? What do you mean?
I mean what I say. Perhaps the reason why some folks don't dust out their homes is because there's too many skeletons in the cupboard.
What are you getting at?
You know.
You.
You've asked for it and now you've got it.
You blaring jackass!
Artie, what's happening?
Uncle's just having another hour with old Pornick.
For goodness sake.
Uncle's just called him a blaring jackass.
Oh, why will he let himself be provoked when his heart burns bad? Edward, come in, do.
Sid! Coming down to the wreck, Sid. Doesn't all smell terrible now. It's my last chance before I go away. What about your uncle? He's having another hour with your dad.
Oh, right.
My uncle just called your dad a blaring jackass.
Siddy!
Hello, Anne.
Hello, Art. Where are you going?
Down to the wreck.
Can I come?
We don't want no girls with us. Come on, Art.
Sid, don't forget you've got to deliver Mrs. Wilson's bassinet at 4.
Mr. Mate, can you see a sail? Hang, Captain Pornick. No sail inside. You down the thirst, Sid? That's right, so's you. You're too weak to move. Mr. Mate? Yes, Captain Pornick.
My limbs are failing, but I'm going to make one more desperate attempt to reach that water can. You watch. I've got to reach it, because we're alone in the South Seas, without a human soul to come to our help.
What you want?
I told you to stay at home. Let me join in, Sid. I won't spoil it, honest I won't.
You do what I tell you. All right. Start in the bows and watch for a sail.
What do I do if I see one?
You won't see one. There ain't any. We're in uncharted waters. Go on. Don't you ever have a sister, Artie? Oh, I don't know. What's wrong with it? Sisters is rot. Girls, if you like. That's different. Ain't sisters girls?
No.
You got a girl? I have. Really? Who? Wouldn't you like to know? Tell us. Secret? Course. Dying solemn? Dying solemn. I'll spell it. M-A-U-D-C-H-A-R-T-E-R-S. Maud Charters. Get out. She is. Truth? Truth. But her father's a vicar. I know. She's got a bicycle, too. I'd like a girl, too. I mean, just to talk to and all that.
Siddy, it's 4 o'clock already. You won't half cop it from Dad if you're late with Mrs. Wilson's bassinet.
All right, I know. I'll have to run, Artie. See you before you go away. Goodbye. Didn't know it was this late.
Neither did I.
Those we ought to be getting back.
Suppose so. Have some chocolate.
Don't mind.
Wasn't going to let on I had it while Sid was here. Dad'd give me and Sid what for if he knew we'd been out with you.
No, Uncle would me too. I don't care, though.
Neither do I. My dad's always going on about you. He says you ain't got a name.
Of course I got a name. What's he mean?
I know. Do you want to go away tomorrow, Artie?
I've got to do something, and Uncle says there's prospects in the drapery trade.
I'm sure you'll get on, Artie.
Of course, I'll be living in down there, so I don't suppose I should be seeing much of Sid and you for a long time.
Won't you?
You sorry? Aunt, I wish you was my girl. What'd you say, Aunt? Will you be my girl?
If you like, Artie. I don't mind if I am.
All right, then you are. Ever heard of tokens, Anne?
Tokens? What's that?
I've been reading about 'em in Titbits. When anyone likes anybody, they give each other something. Sort of a keepsake like.
What?
It says sometimes they break a sixpence.
But if it's broke, you can't spend it.
No, you keep half and I keep half. And when we look at them, we think of each other. When we're separated.
Oh, I see.
Only thing is, I haven't got a sixpence.
I have.
Where?
Home. I'm saving up.
Well, I'm going to want to.
No, I don't mind, honest. I know where Dad keeps his file. I'll easily break it.
And what would you say if I was to ask you to let me kiss you like?
Kissing's silly, don't you think?
I don't see what's the good of having a girl if you can't kiss her.
We'd better be getting back.
Here's the bus. Artie! Artie!
Artie, quick, here's the bus, quickly. Come on, hurry up, for goodness sake, quickly.
Artie! Artie! Oh, there you are. You ready?
Goodbye, Arthur.
Goodbye, Auntie.
You look very nice. Now be a good boy.
You better be.
And here, I've made some nice sandwiches for you.
Up you go. Now, you stick to your work and see you please Mr. Shalford. And don't forget, drop it a line the moment you get there. Good morning, all. Good morning. He's got plenty of prospects at Shalford's.
Artie! Artie! Wait a minute, Artie! Artie!
Would you stop, please?
Hey?
Just for something.
Oh, all right.
Artie! Wait a minute! Artie! Artie, I got that, you know. I got it this morning. Good. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Are you all right now?
Yes. Goodbye, and don't forget. Could you tell me where Shalford's the Drapers is?
Use your eyes, sir.
Can I help you? Anything particular you was wanting?
Are you Mr. Shalford?
No, you're looking for a crib.
Eh?
A job?
Yes, sir.
God help you. Door over there.
Thank you.
Everything all right, madam?
Come in. Well, what is it?
Kipps, sir.
£2,347. Arthur Kipps, age 14, C of E. Signed as apprentice 7 years as from the 7 inst. That's right?
Yes, sir.
My system, efficiency. Your uncle says you're a bit daydreamy. Well, we'll soon smarten you up. Our system here is the best system you could have. I made it, so I ought to know. Booch? Booch? Give him a copy of our rules and fines. Whatever Mr. Booch tells you to do, you do.
Yes, sir.
Take these and follow me. Now, don't fumble! Won't you hear? Put that box down. Come on, then. Come on. Rules quite simple, my system. Rise 6:30, in by 10:30. Lights out 11. Fines for breaches of regulations and inefficiency. Matter won't arise if you're smart.
You won't find anything better at the price, madam.
Mr. Buggins?
Yes, sir.
Skips, new apprentice.
Yes, sir.
Whatever Mr. Buggins tells you to do, you do.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Follow me.
Wonderful quality, madam.
That's the way to the dining room. Lavatory. Latest thing. Move with the times here. System everywhere. Efficiency. Follow me. Mr. Carshot. This is Kipps, new apprentice. See he don't fumble. Whatever Mr. Carshot tells you to do, you do. Follow me.
My heart and liver.
Take those bolts on the top shelf and look sharp. Kipps.
Yes, sir.
Blot and ink pot, quick. Quick.
Yes, sir.
Come on, hustle.
Yes, sir. Coming, sir.
Kipps!
Coming, sir.
Tidy all this stuff up.
Yes, sir.
Kipps. Hustle, hustle. Now, don't fumble, don't fumble. Come on, hustle. No, not them, the others. Kipps, look lively.
Coming, sir.
My heart and liver, I never see such a chap.
Kipps.
Coming, sir.
Come on, young, you're going to sleep. Hurry up. Take those to madam's carriage at once.
Kipps, look sharp with them parcels.
Coming, sir.
Hurry, Kipps.
Yes, sir.
Kipps.
Yes, sir.
Kipps.
Yes, sir.
Kipps.
Tired, young'un?
Just a bit.
You'll get used to it.
What the blazes made you come into the drapery trade, eh?
Uncle said there was prospects.
Prospects.
My heart and liver.
He said perhaps I'll have a shop of my own one day.
Shop of your own. Were you right in home, boy?
Yes, sir.
I suppose you're wondering why the lights go out.
Always goes out at 11 o'clock.
Yes, Teddy's system.
Oh.
I'll tell you what prospects you got. When you get too old to work, they chuck you away. You'll find old drapers everywhere. Tramps, beggars, quad, anywhere but in a job. As for a shop of your own, how is a draper shopman going to save up £500 even? No. I tell you, we're all in a blessed drain pot. And we got to crawl along it till we die. Good night, all.
Emily, or it will be too late.
Go away, go away. Good evening, ladies.
Oh, you're closing.
Never too late at Chalford's, madam. Mr. Kipps, forward, please.
Mr. Kipps.
Mr. Kipps. Mr. Kipps.
Coming, sir.
Hurry, Kipps, hurry.
Mr. Kipps, would you please attend to these ladies?
Certainly. Good evening, madam. What can I show you?
I want a little bit of something to cover a stool. A remnant would do.
This way, madam, if you please. Very seasonable weather we're having just now, madam. Some nice new cretons I can recommend. Very attractive.
Have you anything thicker?
One moment, madam. Get a move on, my man. Closing time. You got the last customers. I know. Wait for me. You bet. Got any money on you? I'm clean out. Well, so am I. I was going to ask you. What about the girls? Oh, I have to have a cheap evening, my boy. Hurry up. Take...
Are you thinking perhaps plush?
Or brocade, Emily?
Oh, anything will do. A remnant or anything.
Very attractive. Absolutely our latest.
I'm afraid none of them are quite...
No.
Well, thank you very much. We'll have to try somewhere else.
Good evening.
Good evening. Dear me, we are the last.
I'm afraid we've kept you open.
Not at all, madam. Always a pleasure to oblige a customer. Good evening. Good.
Especially very short, but they don't mind a bit serving you after all.
The giving limit, I call it.
8:15.
Really, some people.
My heart and liver.
You wait till they bring in early closing.
No, there's no harm in waiting. You've got your whole life in front of you. Vested interests. That's what it is. Vested, blessed interests.
Nothing like a good old stroll along the prom, I always say.
The Bennett concert in the Pier Hall.
Yeah, how about going in here and listening to the band?
Oh, I don't mind if I do.
Excuse me, old man. There we are, ladies. All done by kindness. Would you care to smoke?
Well, the very idea. Mr. Pierce.
Now, come off it. We saw you, both of you. That's right.
You did not?
Oh, yes, we did. Of course we did.
When might I ask?
It was on a Tuesday when Teddy was up in town, puffing your ears off in the stockroom on the QT. Trying to blow smoke rings.
I don't know, I'm sure. You nosy pockets.
You'll have to be more careful in future.
So it seems. Really, Mr. Kipps, I should have thought you had a better use for your time.
Well, I don't know about that. Oh, tickets, please. Tickets, please. Well, girls, what about strolling along? Suits me.
Now, let's wait until the band's finished this piece.
We've heard it plenty of times before.
But we've only just sat down. You are a fidget. Oh, I'm sure I felt a drop of rain.
Hey? By Jove, you're right. Come on, girls. Nice weather for ducks, if you see what I mean.
We're stuffed ducks the way we're waiting here.
At any rate, we're out of the wet.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. You didn't mention there was a Bella concert on the pier.
Well, if it hadn't come on to rain. Well, that's right. Well, girls, what about having a look at this?
Well, I don't mind if I do.
Oh, yeah, the lantern slides in too.
In my opinion, my very humble opinion, self-help is the noblest of all our distinctive English characteristics. When we scan the pages of our rough island story, we find them studded with the most heartening examples of men who have prospered entirely by helping themselves.
Where shall we sit?
Kipps, you sit next to Flo. Righto. You sit over there.
True, we cannot all be great or famous. Full many a flower is born to blush unseen and waste its sweetness on the desert air, as Gray so aptly expresses it in his beautiful elegy.
Oh, it's poetry.
And, of course, each of us...
Thought you said it was lantern slides.
Each of us must do his duty in that station of life to which it has pleased Providence to call him. Thomas Carlyle, himself an example of what self-help can accomplish, has written these words. Not what I have, But what I do is my kingdom. How inspiring. Perhaps, who knows, there may be among those who are here tonight. To continue, if I may, there may be one among those who are here tonight who, as those great men did, longs to grasp the rich fruits of the tree of culture, but feels he has no ladder with which to enable him to reach up to even the lowest of its most tempting branches. My friend, if you are here tonight, I assure you, you are wrong. You have a ladder. I have a ladder. We all have a ladder.
Have you got yours?
That ladder is self-help, and upon it, and with the aid of spare time study at our technical institute, if I may modestly refer to it, you may mount ever higher and higher. Needless to say, we at the Technical Institute would be delighted to see the young seeker after knowledge on any Tuesday or Thursday evening, should he, or of course she, care to call. We have evening study groups in literature and languages, arts and handicrafts, and I may add that the fees are purely nominal. My friends, we live in an enlightened age today.
How's that, girls? Dead on time?
Oh, thank goodness. Yes, thing I must say, we might have got the sack. Can't think why you couldn't take the omnibus back.
Well, I told you, girls, off round the town. Good night, girls.
Oh, good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Kipps.
Good night.
I do declare you haven't said a word all the way home.
Oh, I've been thinking.
Hope it's done you some good, I'm sure.
One P or two?
Two.
Two. Occupation?
I'm an improver in the drapery. Shawford's Bazaar, you know.
I see, and you want to be a self-improver in your spare time, eh?
Yes, that's just it. Well, what put the idea into my head, Mr. Coote, was happening to hear the talk you give last night.
Oh, indeed, really, one does what one can. Now, what were you thinking of exactly?
Well, I thought perhaps literature or something like that.
Literature. Well, unfortunately, that class is already in mid-session. Pity. There's French.
Yes, I wouldn't mind having a go at that.
But on the other hand, that's rather full already. I'm afraid there aren't any other language groups. We were thinking of starting a German class, but there didn't seem to be much local enthusiasm for it. Of course, there's economics. No, perhaps that's just a little advanced. I have it. Wood carving.
Wood carving?
Yes, the class has only just begun, and I know Miss Walshingham is just a little short of her full muster. I'll take you right along.
Well, I don't
You'll
know.
find it really fascinating.
I was thinking of literature. You have Shakespeare and all that.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm not much good with the hands, you know.
Ah, Miss Walshingham, I have another pupil for you. Come in, young man. Come in, come in.
Really, Mr. Coote?
Mr. Kipps.
How do you do? So you're keen to take up wood carving, are you?
That's right.
Splendid.
You just take a seat at the desk over there. I'll be with you in a moment.
Come along. Quite common, of course, a little shop assistant at Shalford's. But he seems very willing and respectful. And one must do what one can.
Of course.
Ah, well, back to the plough.
Have you done any carving before, Mr.
Kipps?
Oh, yes, of course. You may sit down.
No, I can't say I have, not really.
You'll find it very useful. For decoration, of course.
Yes, that's what put the idea into my head.
You'll soon get into it. We've got to the sort of pothook stage. I think you'd better get to know the chisels first. Will you, just move?
Hands off.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Now, this is the gouge for small grooves.
I see.
You hold it firmly, but not too tightly, like this. And cut. So. A little at a time.
I see.
Look. There. Would you like to try?
Oh, not much use with my hands, really.
Oh, it's quite simple.
All right, I'll have a go.
Let me. Oh, gently. You mustn't hack. Look. Like this. You see?
Mm.
What's up, Longan? Got cramp? My heart and liver lost his voice, too.
It's the monotony. Mine goes blank. Often happens to wage slaves in the retail trade. Now, in my case, it gets to feet first. There's more like him. Mine goes blank sometimes for hours.
Blast, Teddy.
Yeah, and I still got half my left foot to do. I remember once a young fellow was took like that after stock taking. Kept muttering to himself all night. 5 dozen pairs cambric drawers as per Patio with. Yeah, mine went blank. Good night.
Miss Walshingham, I got to speak. This is the last class of the term, and I can't keep silent no longer. Miss Walshingham, I love you. Don't mistake me. I know it can never be. My love is hopeless. You are a lady, and I'm only a draper's shopman. But I just had to tell you before I go away. I shall never see you again. Goodbye.
Wait.
Yes?
Where are you going off to?
Africa, maybe, or the South Seas? Who can tell? I shall never forget you.
Just a minute. You can't go out of my life. Not like that, you can't.
I got to.
I never told you to go, did I?
No, but...
Don't you see I can't bear you going? I love you just like you love me.
Miss Walshingham.
Mr. Kipps? Are you in any difficulty?
No, Miss Walshingham.
Helen, could I borrow that little thin chisel?
Yes, dear, of course. You know, you've made a conquest.
What? Mr. Kipps, haven't you noticed? He can't take his eyes off you.
Oh, nonsense.
It's true. I was watching him only just now.
My dear, you've got a romantic mind.
But just now I...
Take your little chisel. I'm afraid you haven't got on very fast, Mr. Kipps.
Well, it is a bit hard.
The work is really quite promising.
I tried to do it like you said.
I've no idea it was so long. Well, that's that. Good night, Miss Walsingham. Good night,
Good night,
Paul.
Walsingham. Thanks for a very pleasant term.
Oh, good night, Tom.
Good night.
Good night, and thank you so
Good
much.
night. It has been nice, hasn't
Goodbye. Perhaps I should say au revoir till next term.
it? Au revoir.
Goodbye, Miss Walshingham.
Oh, we shall be seeing you again next term, I hope.
Well, if you think it's worthwhile,
Oh, I do.
well, then I will. I want to improve, always.
Oh, splendid. Good night, Mr. Kipps.
I'd do anything for... do anything.
Didn't I tell you? He simply worships you. How absurd. Quite a nice sort of person, but of course he must realize that... Aren't you being a little unkind? How? What have I done? That's just it. What have you done?
Bip, 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 bip. Look out!
Get out of the way, you're running.
I say, you aren't hurt, matey. I was backpedaling for all I was worth, all right?
You hit me.
You practically ran into me. I backpedaled like mad, then biff.
Didn't half give me a wonder in the back.
Well, I was coming down the hill. Came a bit of a whop, didn't I?
You did that. I didn't hear you ring your bell.
Doesn't work. Top came off yesterday. Anyway, I yelled out. Didn't you hear me?
Lucky for you it wasn't Saturday night. There's a police trap on this hill for scorchers Saturday night. Oh, look at my trousers. Tore all down one leg.
Holy smoke, so it is. Quite a nasty little tear. Anyway, your lid's all right. Lucky I was backpedaling.
Ripped clean up, ruined.
Don't worry about that. My digs are just down the road. I'll sew that up in a jiffy for you.
I don't know. I've got to be getting back.
Look out, look out. There's a slop. Don't give me away. I haven't got a lamp either. Well, fancy bumping into you like this. How are you, me old son of a gun?
Oh, I'm all right. How are you?
Evening, officer. Well, this is a surprise.
Yes, isn't it?
I'll walk along home with you. Come on, old boy. It was a fair bit of all right the way you acted with that slop. You behaved like a gentleman. Got a kick in it, was. That's old Methuselah, 4-star, 20 on the proof. I never drink anything else myself, personally. Good old me and good old meth. Leave us together, biff, both gone.
This lady here, is she a friend of yours?
Oh, Bessie. We taught together in the Belle of New York. My boy, she very nearly became the first and only Mrs. Chitterlow, had not a London offer intervened. Great trooper, Bess. If by some chance I should stitch your trousers to your leg, you'll holler, won't you?
I will.
You know this would make a thundering good situation for a comedy?
Yeah, I expect it would. You know, I've never met an actor before. You acting anything down this way, Mr. Chitterlow?
Well, I'm in between plays at the moment. You see, an actor of my type must have the right part. Meanwhile, I'm writing a play, a farce.
Oh, this?
That's it. I tell you, it'll knock 'em. Why, it even makes me laugh. For it stands to reason it must make them yell. Well, that's the way I look at it.
I wouldn't be surprised if you wasn't absolutely right.
Here, I got a scene with a beetle. You ought to read it. It's a riot. It's a howl, and it's never been done before. How goes old Matt?
Well, I like it. I don't know how you describe it, but sort of lights up inside.
Here, you can't beat the old gent for interior illumination. Now, we'll have one more tot, and when I finish this, I'll run over the beetle scene for you.
Oh, I got to be getting back soon.
But you'll be the first living soul to have heard it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, old man, really, I do. But I'm in the drapery trade, see? I've got to be back. They lock the door by 10:30.
When I think of that beetle, what a scream. It'll tear them apart. They'll be rolling in the aisles. You see, Popplewaddle, that's my hero. He's a sort of absent-minded professor type. He collects beetles. They're his ruling passion. Why, he practically thinks beetles. It's an absolute scream. What a situation, eh? I tell you, they'll die. It'll kill them. Now, in the third act, Popplewaddle, he don't come back as himself because he thinks he's wanted for forgery, see? Right. We come to Mrs. Crumpholm's tea party. All very la-di-da-di-da-di-da. You know the type of thing. When Lady Whortleberry is announced. And in comes who?
Let me think.
Popplewobble, old boy, in her clothes with the muscle. Biff. Ha ha! What do you think of it?
It's damn fine, Chitterlow.
My boy, you're a born critic. I'll just walk it for you. Enter Lady Whortleberry, alias Popplewobble. Ah, my dear Mrs. Crumpholm, how do you do, how do you do, how do you do? Oh, and my dear Rector, how do you do? Sits between Rector and Mrs. Crumpthorne. Nobody recognizes him. Sugar Lady Whortleberry, 2, please. Thank you. Suddenly, biff. Beetle comes through a window. Bzzz. He spots it. Bzzz. It's the very beetle he's been wanting for his collection. Bzzz. See? Bzzz. Bzzz. Suddenly, Beetle settles on Mrs. Crumpthorne's head. Bzzz. He goes to grab it. Bzzz. Bee buzzes off. Suddenly, Beetle comes back. Bzzz. Settles on Popple's head this time. Bzzz. Falls down his neck. Bzzz. Right down his back. Bzzz. Popple rushes out of room. Kipps comes staring after him. Popple dashes through French window. Kipps follows him.
What, Kipps?
Why, the Rector!
Oh, no, my name's Kipps.
Huh?
Kipps.
What about him?
That's me. You can't go putting me on stage, Chitterlow. You'll make me lose my job.
You mean to say your name's really Kipps?
That's right.
Holy smoke.
I can't have it, Chitterlow. I can't have it at all.
But what a coincidence. I got the name out of a newspaper yesterday. I always use real names in my plays. It's here somewhere.
Kipps, that's me. Poor old Kipps.
It was here yesterday.
Chitterlow.
What, old boy? All right, I won't be a minute. I'll find it.
Chitterlow, I'm going. I'm going back to Teddy and make him open the door and tell him I'm very ill.
My heart and liver.
Hello? Teddy?
He knows.
Oh.
He's waiting for you in his office.
Come in. Oh, so you've turned up, have you? Been out all night. You know the rules? You know my system? Out all night, instant dismissal. Never departed from it. Don't intend to now. There's no more to be said. You leave at end of month. References if you behave yourself.
Swapped, kicked out to clear the street.
Bad luck, old boy.
Oh, really?
Oh, Teddy's system.
Well, I was wanting a change anyway. He happened to give notice first, that's all.
Where'd you get to last night, old man?
Well, as a matter of fact, I had a bit of a thick night with a nectar friend of mine.
An actor?
Yeah, he's an author, too. We got talking about the theatre and drinking old Methuselah, 4 stars, and, well, one thing led to another like, and, you know.
What's all this? What's all this? Come on, smarten yourselves up.
This way for the nightgowns, madam.
Thank you.
You gonna try for another crib?
I don't know.
Curious thing, but every time I've had the swap, I never thought I'd find another crib, never. But somehow I always did.
Think I will?
Of course. Go right up to London, get a cheap room, and hang out. Don't eat too much. There's many a chap put his prospects in his stomach.
Mr. Buggins.
Come in. And whatever you do, hang on to your collars and cuffs. Pop them last.
Yes, madam. What can I show you, madam?
I want to see some ribbon, please.
This way, madam.
How do you do, Mr. Kipps?
Oh, good morning, Miss Washington. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's very seasonable weather we're having just now.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is really. I expect you'll be taking your holidays soon.
We hope to run over to Bruges for a few days.
Ah, that'd be nice.
Yes. And you, what are you going to do, Mr. Kipps? Will you get away, or are you too busy?
Yes, I expect I'll get away for a bit.
Nice. You ready, dear? Well, Mother, this is Mr. Kipps, one of my most promising pupils. Well, I hope we shall see you again next term at the Institute, Mr. Kipps.
Well, Miss Washington, the fact is Goodbye.
Bye.
Mr. Kipps.
Coming, sir.
Get the sailor's hat off the model in the window.
The one with HMS Tundra on the ribbon, because his dad's on that ship, you see.
And look sharp.
Yes.
Why can't I have a cat? Shut up, can't you?
But a shop assistant. You can hardly expect me to cut my own pupils dead, Mother.
I want to see you. Yeah, look here.
Oh, no, go away.
Look here, you've got me into enough trouble. It's just, can't you go away? No, I'm busy. Go away. I can't help it. I'm busy now. You get me into trouble. Go away, will you?
Kipps, how much longer are you going to be? Do you want to leave here without references?
No, sir.
Well, then, hustle.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
That's right, with HMS Thunderer on it.
There you are, little man.
There, now you look just like your dad.
Terrible. Why can't I have a cat?
Because you're going to have a sailorette. There, that'll do nicely, thank you.
Oh, very good, madam.
Hi there, can I have some attention?
Here, Kipps.
I think I've got the odd farthing here somewhere, yes. Thank you.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Why couldn't I have a cat?
Look here, fellow, you can't come here. I've got into enough trouble through you as it is.
Kipps, listen to me. Because they are starting to decide it's not very popular with underwear, sir.
Here's the boss. Here, Chitlow. You've got to go now, see? You're not allowed, friends.
Have you got that in a 678?
Here you are, sir.
Thank you. What's your first name?
Arthur, why?
Jumping Joseph Attitude.
What's me?
Wait a minute, and I'll tell you your mother's Christian name.
Look here, Chitlow, I don't know what you're after, but I got no time now. See, you got me the sack last night.
Did I? I'm sorry, old boy. Euphemia.
You? What?
Listen, Waddy or Kipps. If Arthur Kipps or Arthur Waddy, son of Euphemia Kipps, who was born at East Grinstead on the 1st of September, 1884, were you?
That's right. Well, what is it, Chitlow? I don't understand.
You don't have to, old boy. All you've got to do is to write to Watson and Bean and collect.
Collect what?
Anything that's coming to you. They say they don't happen. What? Coincidences. Everything is a coincidence. I found that paper this morning, an old Folkestone Gazette. The one I got the name from, you know.
Yeah, what does it say?
What's it say? Read it, old boy. What I told you. You're going to hear something to your advantage.
Waddy? Oh, I don't know any Waddy.
Yeah, you don't worry about that. It's you, all right. All you've got to do is write to Watson and Bean at once.
Well, what do you suppose it means? Something to my advantage?
Might mean anything. Money, if it does. Don't forget your little Harry C.
But if you was me...
I've written first thing this morning.
Oh?
Did you find anything to suit you, sir?
No. As a matter of fact, I wanted one of those lavender toppers they wear at Ascot.
Well, we could order one for you, sir.
Thanks. Well, I'll see if I can get them to postpone the races for a couple of days and I'll pop back. Morning.
Mr. Kipps.
Coming, sir. I say, you see that there house? You'd never guess it belonged to me, would you? That's it there, Ewington.
It's hot enough without fools.
What do you mean, say it doesn't belong to me? It was left me this morning by a grandfather, what I never even heard of. What else do you think he left me? £26,000.
Try that game on with me and I'll give you in charge.
What game?
Wasn't born yesterday. Jenkins, take me away. I know your sort.
I don't think I ought to really.
Go on, some folks takes it every day.
Why, 3 and 6 a bottle?
They don't stick at that.
Not the champagne sort, they don't.
Well, Mr. Kipps.
Yeah.
Mr. Kipps. May you live to enjoy it. If anyone deserves it, too much of help on this noble. It's Mr. Kipps. I always said you had breeding.
Was lucky Teddy being in London.
Teddy was here, we wouldn't be doing this.
As the oldest wage slave in this establishment, it behoves me to convey to our young colleague here, indeed I may say our friend, our heartiest congratulations on his sudden access to fortune. I remember well the day when Kipps first came to Shortford's.
Mr. Bunny.
He was a young shaver just like Burchett here. No hire, no cleaner. No offence intended, none taken, I hope. I remember... What do you want?
There's a lady in the shop wants one of them outfits, like some Gertie in the front window for 38 and 6.
38 and 6? Well, you know what to do.
Yes, sir.
Well, go and sell it to her.
Go on, efficiency and system.
Let's be sorry. Now, where was I?
We're saying Kipps was dirty.
I was not.
Oh, yes, you was, me lad, but we won't argue about it. I always said he'd make a go in life, and my words have come true. It's pleased Providence to raise him to a higher level. My friends, the toast is our Kipps. Come on, Kipps.
I never was much good at making speeches, and I don't hardly know how to thank you. It's all knocked me over a bit, if you know what I mean. You've been so kind. I'll never forget you, straight on won't. Thanks.
We should never forget you either.
Good old Kipps.
Yes, good old Kipps. Good old Kipps.
Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow.
What's all this? What is this horseplay?
£26,000.
It was my grandfather. I never even knew I had one. Waddy, his name was. It was his son, was my father.
Waddy?
Waddy, so that's who it was.
She never said.
Well, perhaps it's all for the best. £26,000 and an house. Here, have some more ham.
It's wonderful. I can't believe it. Perhaps we're dreaming.
It's true, all right. I'm going to live in the house, Auntie. Old Bean kept it on for me ever since Mr. Waddy died. Servants and all.
My servants. You've got a position to live up to now, Auntie.
Yeah, I suppose I have, really.
I do hope we won't go and marry beneath him.
You'd better watch out all round.
Oh, I've got to be precious careful, I know.
It's your duty to marry into a county family now, Artie.
Oh, I don't know about... Perhaps I...
What?
Oh, no.
You've got a wonderful prospect in front of you, my lad. For instance, you might go into Parliament or buy a shooting box or hunt. You ought to hunt, Artie.
Yes, I suppose I ought. I think I'll just have a stroll round. Try and sort things out in my mind a bit.
Well, that's right, my lad. A man in your position can't afford to make no hasty decisions.
Hello, Hopkins. Don't you remember me? Anne Pauling.
Why, Anne? Well, I'm blown.
You've grown up.
Oh, so have you. You've got a moustache.
Oh, that's right. Do you like it?
Suits you. I didn't know you was back. I just see you through the window.
How did you?
Thought perhaps you'd forgotten me.
Oh, me? No fear.
Well, I just thought perhaps you had.
Oh, of course not. Well, it's a long time since I've seen you, Anne. It must be more than 7 years.
Don't do to count.
Now, how you been keeping?
All right.
You look all right.
Do I?
Rather. Oh, it's nice to see you again, Anne. Sort of brings back old times, like.
Do you remember the last time we was here?
You bet. You and Sid. Well, how is Sid?
He's doing fine. got a bicycle shop in London. You know he's married.
What, Sid?
Got a baby, too.
Well, fancy old Sid. Well, sure you haven't gone and got married, too.
Not me.
What you been doing, Anne?
Been over at Rye in service. Having a bit of holiday now. I'm going to a new place in Folkestone next week. As a parlourmaid this time, Artie.
Are you really?
Artie, do you remember that sixpence?
What?
You know, the one I cut in half.
Of course, yes. You ran off to the bus and give it me.
I've still got my half.
Have you?
You got yours?
Rather. What do you think?
Didn't expect you'd keep it. I always thought it was silly keeping mine. Besides, it didn't mean anything, really.
Oh, didn't it?
I often wondered how you was getting on, Artie. You still in the drapery?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm not.
What? You mean you left?
Mm-hmm. That's right. I had a stroke of luck. Come into a bit of money.
Money? Oh, Artie.
Just about £26,000.
26,000?
My grandfather left it me. A big house in Folkestone, too. I'm living in it now. Well, aren't you going to congratulate me?
Oh, I'm glad, Artie. Really, I am. I'm sure you deserve it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, I think I ought to be getting back.
Well, shall I walk along with you?
If you like, Artie.
Righto.
Hello there! Hello! Tip, the old boy! My dear old boy, my dear boy!
Hello, Titlow, what's happened?
The talk of Folkestone, 26,000, sensation, Biff knocked me cold. First thought, must go round and shake old Kip by the hand, and here I am, old boy, here I am.
Oh, this is Mr. Titlow, Uncle. Gentleman I was telling you about, you know?
How do you do, sir? How do you do? What news, sir? What news?
Is that your motor?
Yes, for the day, anyhow. Ready to leave, old boy?
What's in the motor?
Certainly, you touch your little Harry C to take you to Folkestone in style.
Oh, thanks, Titlow. Well, hold on. I won't be a tick.
That's all right, old boy. That's all right. But you must remember calling the beetle a butterfly.
I can't say I do, old man.
Because you was a bit squiffy at the time, but it was just after you said you'd like to buy a half share in the play if only you had 300 quid to do it with.
What did I say, man?
Your own words, old boy. Of course, you hadn't got 300 quid then.
No, but all the same.
So I've changed the name of the play to The Pestered Butterfly, thanks to you, old boy. What a title paralyzer.
All the same, Titlow, I don't...
You've got a gold mine in that half share, old boy.
Now, listen, Titlow.
I won't listen, Kip, so I'm a man of my word. What's the name of your bank?
Oh, it's an London and Southern, I think, but why?
Half share you said, and half share you shall have. Stop at the London and Southern Bank, will you? There you are, Kip, old boy.
What, Titlow?
Now, come on, don't be nervous. From now on, signing checks is going to be second nature to you.
Good day, sir. Good day. Could I have £1 in silver, please?
How would you like this, Mr. Kipps?
Well,
5 dozen tellers, old boy.
Why, it's Mr. Kipps, surely.
Yeah, that's right. How are you, Mr. Coot?
My dear fellow, may I congratulate you on your good fortune?
Oh, thanks.
100?
Thanks. You heard then?
Yes, there was a paragraph in the Folkestone Gazette.
Yeah, trust little Harry C. I gave that interview, old boy. Friend of yours?
200?
Thanks. That's right. This is Titlow, Mr. Coot.
How do you, boy?
How do you do? Well, I just thought I'd wish you well as an old acquaintance. Perhaps we shall meet again.
Oh, thank you. But are you doing anything now, Mr. Coot?
Oh, only pottering, you know, just pottering.
300?
Well, I was wondering if you'd care to come up to my place and have a smoke and a chat, like, eh?
Thank you. I should be delighted.
All pleasantly great. Thanks, old boy. I promise you'll never regret it.
Titlow?
Sorry, old boy, I got a train to catch. I'll just about manage it if I run.
Oh.
Shan't be needing the motor anymore if you want it. Well, goodbye, old boy. Keep in touch with me.
Yes, I will.
Glad to meet you. So long. Oh, you might give the driver £2.10, will you? I haven't got less than a fiver here.
Would you care for a ride in the motor, Mr. Coot?
Oh, by all means, yes. Thank you.
Well, after you. This way, Mr. Coot. Oh, good morning, Mrs. Transome. Thank you very much. so sorry. Is it all right to go in the study, Mrs. Transome?
If you wish, sir.
Well, this way, Mr. Coop.
I must really only stay a minute.
This is where the old gentleman wrote all his letters, you know. My grandfather, it was.
Indeed, really. All this will make a tremendous change for you, Mr. Kipps.
Yes, that's what I've been thinking. I'm like the chap in the song they're singing. I don't hardly know where I are, you know.
Quite.
Well, make yourself at home, Mr. Coop.
Thank you. I gather it's rather a big windfall.
1,200 a year.
Indeed, really. One doesn't want to seem presumptuous, but this Chitterlow, I hope you'll pardon me mentioning it, but I couldn't help noticing at the bank.
Oh, it's all right. He's a friend of mine, an actor. In a way, he helped me to my money.
Oh, well, of course, naturally, in that case, you'd know best. I'm not suggesting there was anything wrong, but it is a lamentable fact that money attracts, well, spongers. One hesitates to offer advice, of course.
No, that's just what I need, Mr. Coop.
Oh, my dear fellow, if there's anything I can do to guide or help, for a spirited young fellow suddenly wealthy, there are many temptations.
Oh, I know. Why, only the other evening with Chitlow, you know how it is. We got talking and drinking, and of course, it's seeing live.
Ah, but is it worth it?
Ah. Oh, I don't think Sal was really bad or drunk much. Oh, I wouldn't want you to think that, Mr. Coop.
You know, Mr. Kipps, between ourselves, I've never touched alcohol in my life. Never.
Haven't you?
Oh, I smoke, of course. One doesn't want to be a Pharisee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, really, I wasn't meaning that.
Yeah, go on, take one.
Thank you. Yes, you cannot be too careful. Money nowadays has many pitfalls for the unwary.
Yeah, I dare say it has.
I was talking on this subject only the other day to Mr. Densmore, the vicar. Curiously enough, the Reverend and Honourable. He went so far as to maintain that wealth can only be fittingly used by the landed gentry.
Oh, did he?
Of course, as a social worker, I disagreed with him. One has got to stand up to these people. Yes, a man's a man for all that, I told him, quoting Burns. Yes, I think I had him there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I'm afraid our Mr. Densmore is a bit of a snob. Yes, the portals of society are open nowadays to anyone who has the means to make himself worthy of it.
Really?
Oh, indubitably. Why, at school with me were a number of tradesmen's sons, wholesalers, of course. Yes, education is a great leveler.
Oh, that's just it, Mr. Coot. I'm not educated. Well, not properly, that is.
One can acquire education.
You really think I could become a gentleman?
You owe it to your position, my dear Kipps.
You mean I ought to get with educated people who know how to do things properly, so that if I wanted to call on someone, I could know how to behave?
That and other things. Being a gentleman is a full-time occupation, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, but there's nothing to get alarmed about.
Well, if you could only give me some advice, Mr. Coot. You see, I've only got old Mr. Bean. He's my solicitor, and I don't know him much.
I see. I was wondering, why not have a chat with a young solicitor friend of mine? He's only recently qualified, but he's remarkably clever. Ronald Walshingham.
Walshingham?
Yes, Miss Walshingham's brother.
Miss Helen Walshingham? Oh.
A charming girl, don't you think? And she was talking of you only the other day.
Me?
In the very highest terms.
It was her I was thinking of calling on.
You know, I might have guessed that.
You don't know a cigarette.
Oh, I still have this, thank you.
She wouldn't mind me calling.
Oh, you'll be very welcome. Thursday's her afternoon, generally.
Thursday, eh? Oh dear.
Oh, let me.
No, that's quite
no,
all right.
No, really. If I could be of any help.
Well, you've got so many things to do.
Oh, no, not really. I must confess I've rarely met anyone so congenial and modest, if I may say so.
Oh, I seem able to say things to you somehow.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm tremendously glad.
Oh, I want a friend, that's it, straight.
My dear Kipps, I want a friend, too.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm rather a lonely sort of dog, really. I haven't aired my thoughts so freely for months.
Shake hands.
Kipps, you're the right stuff. Take my advice and make that call.
I will.
Why, Mr. Kipps, good afternoon.
I just thought I'd call.
Do come in, will you?
Oh, thank you.
How are you?
Well, I mustn't grumble. I just thought I'd call, having nothing to do.
Yes, of course. I heard about your good fortune this morning. I do congratulate you.
Yeah, isn't it a go?
You're just in time for tea. Come in.
Thanks.
Hello, Kipps.
Hello, Mr. Coot.
This is my brother, Ronnie.
How do you do? I've heard all about you from Chester.
If you'll excuse me, I'll just go and help Mother with the tea. I'm afraid we're without a maid at the moment.
Cigarette, Mr. Kipps? Oh, thanks.
And by the way, congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
I say, won't you sit down?
Thanks.
By the by, I believe I mentioned Ronnie to you. He's a fully fledged solicitor now.
Yes.
So if you want any advice, old chap.
Yes, I should be only too glad.
Thanks. Mr. Bean's handling my business just now. Of course, I don't know much about him, but...
Oh, Watson and Bean, eh? What do you say, Ronnie?
Oh, well, really, Chester. Professional etiquette,
Well, we're only asking your opinion, eh, Kipps?
Well, orthodox, you know.
You mean they're not quite all right?
Oh, yes, they're honest enough. But if you don't mind my saying so, a little bit old-fashioned. Nowadays, perhaps one could use a little more enterprise.
You two really ought to have a business chat one day. Ah, tea.
Well, Mother, you know Mr. Kipps.
So pleased to meet you, Mr. Kipps.
I think we met before in the shop.
Yes, of course. So nice of you to call.
Yes, I just thought I would.
I'm so glad. You were a pupil of Helen's at the wood carving class.
Yes, that's how I had the pleasure.
She took such an interest in it. It was an outlet for her, you know. She told me all about you.
Milk and sugar, Mr. Kipps.
Just as you like.
Do sit down, everybody, please.
Here you are, Kipps.
A little bird whispered to me we ought to congratulate you, Mr. Kipps.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, dear, you've given Mr. Kipps a lame chair, as we playfully call it.
That's quite all right, really.
That's right, Ronnie. Get the bit of wood.
We really must have that mended.
Yes, of course we must, dear.
Is that better?
Fine, thank
Quite
you.
sure.
Yeah, have my chair if you like.
No, I'm quite at home, really.
Do you have a pastry?
No, I'm not very hungry, thank you.
You know, Mr. Kipps, it's a great responsibility for a mother to feel that her daughter is, well, so exceptionally clever.
Oh, Mother.
There's no mistake about that.
You know, Mr. Kipps, when Helen was quite a tiny tot, she wrote verse.
No.
She still does.
But it isn't very good.
Nonsense. I think it has a lot of Swinburne about it, in his quieter moods, of course.
Oh, it's nothing much. It comes to nothing. But one must do something.
Ah, the food of the spirit. Where would one be without it? Eh, Kipps?
Ah.
You're going to the recital, I suppose.
Paderewski, oh, yes, of course.
She's playing at the Pavilion next week.
Oh, is he?
Yes. You really ought to hear him, Kipps. Quite brilliant. Though perhaps for some people he's just a little free with his rubato.
Yes, there is that.
A matter of taste, of course.
Yes, I expect that.
Are you musical, Mr. Kipps?
Well, I like it. As a matter of fact, I'm learning the banjo from a fellow now.
Will you have some more tea?
No, thank you.
Perhaps Mr. Kipps would like to have a look around the garden.
Would you?
Yes, I like gardening.
Good.
Here, dear, and just fetch me some more milk.
It's not very big, is it?
I like it.
It's small. But then this is the day of small things. The outlook might be worse. At least there one doesn't stare one's social replica in the face.
It's nice. I like that lilac tree over there. It's pretty.
Yes. My father used to like that.
I didn't know you wrote things.
I don't know whether I'll ever be any good at that anyhow.
I should think you could do anything if you wanted to.
I wonder. I'm afraid I'm too ambitious. Well, this isn't very much of a springboard, is it?
I don't know. I suppose not.
The fact is, Mr. Kipps, I'm afraid I'm rather a discontented sort of person. A place like Folkestone values people for sheer, vulgar prosperity. We're very far from prosperous, and we live in a back street. One feels one hasn't opportunities. Even if I had, I suppose I wouldn't take them. Still. That's Chester.
I can believe you could do anything you wanted if you tried. I used to watch you in the wood carving class.
I think you must be one of the rare people who believe in me.
But I do.
Child of my dream. Angel of love to be. There's the old castle. What do you say to climbing up to the top of the old keep and picnicking when we get back? There's a marvelous view from the top.
Good idea.
Hey, you two! We're going up to the castle. We're paddling into the bank here.
Oh, righto.
Ronnie, you hear that?
You and Doris had better stay behind and get out the picnic basket. Then you can come on afterwards.
Oh. All right, Mother.
Quite a climb, isn't it? Only 2 or 3 more, Mrs. Walsingham.
You know, I don't really think I can go any further.
We'll stop here if you like, Mother.
No, of course not, dear. You must see the view. I'm sure Chester won't mind staying with me.
Only too bad.
Well, off you go then.
Would you like to?
If you would. We'll just look at the view and come down again.
There's no hurry, dear. The darlings.
Glorious, isn't it?
Hmm.
I wonder what it looked like when they were building this.
Oh, a lot different, I expect.
Perhaps they jousted here.
Oh, well, we're up to all sorts of things. I was always a one for scenery. When I see things that are beautiful, makes me feel silly like.
You needn't. You know, Mr. Kipps, you hold yourself too cheap.
Oh, I do?
You shouldn't.
You mean you don't?
Why should I?
Well, I mean, for instance, you don't think of me as an equal.
Why not?
Well, I'm not.
Perhaps you haven't enough faith in yourself.
If I thought that you could do anything. Mrs. Walsingham, do you think you could care enough for me to help me? Mrs. Walsingham, do you care for me at all? I must say, I must know.
Yes, I know. I know.
Me? You mean you do?
But promise if I never hold you cheap, you never will yourself.
You mean...
I mean, I hold you dear.
You mean to say you'll marry me?
What else could I mean?
You? I?
I don't think I should have cared to have lived here.
Here we are.
Come along, you two, now. We mustn't keep Ronnie waiting any longer. Well, wasn't the view lovely? Mm-hmm.
You needn't tell me. My dear Kipps, this is better than a legacy.
Oh, I can't hardly believe it.
She's splendid.
Don't deserve it.
And it began before your money?
When you put me in the wood carving class.
Of course. It's a county family, you know. They're connected with the Beaupreys, Lord Beaupre.
Oh, it's too much.
My dear chap, if there's anything I can do, help you choose the ring, perhaps.
Oh, yes, the ring.
Papa!
That's me. C-U-Y-P-S? Well, they've spelled my name wrong.
That was Chester. He apparently found that the correct spelling was C-U-Y-P-S. It was a Flemish family of that name who settled in Kent several hundred years ago.
I've never seen it spelled that way. How do you say it? Not Q-wipes?
No, you pronounce it Kipps as before.
I see. Anyway, it's wonderful, even if it is spelled different. I'm not good enough for you. The more you see of me, the more you'll find me out.
Would you really like me to help you?
I wish you would.
There are only a few little points. For instance, there's your pronunciation. You don't mind if I mention it?
Of course not.
There are H's.
I know. Coot promised to help me about that.
It only needs a little care. And then there's dress.
Well, isn't this all right?
Yes, but you don't want to be too elaborate, too dressy. You want to look right without looking as though you were trying to be right.
I see.
And then you must try to be more at ease when you're with people. Forget yourself a bit. Don't be so anxious, you know?
I'll try. I'll do my best to try.
I know you will.
Commence. Soup. Right. Now, fish. Shall we say sole bonne femme? Quite right. And what goes with fish?
Chips?
No, no. What wine?
Oh, Burgundy.
No.
Sauterne.
Ah, yes. Or?
Grass.
Quite right. Now, entree.
Lord, they haven't upped up the price of those chemicals.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, it's nothing. It's just a line they've reduced. Oh, I knew they'd never go.
Arthur, dear, you must try to remember you're not in business now.
Sorry.
Melodious stuff, old Omar. After that, you might read Sartor Resartus. Carlyle has a grand, rugged style.
Has he? I mean, has he? You know, I got a lot of difficulty with those two words. Which is which?
Oh, it's perfectly simple. As is a conjunction, and has is a verb.
Ah, say, but when is each which?
Oh, always. One says has when one means one has. For instance, one says he has. I mean he has. Otherwise, one says has he has. I mean as he has. It's perfectly simple.
I see. Yes. I got it clear now, I think. Very nice. May I?
Yes, dear, of course.
Oh, by the way, this came this morning. I don't know any Mrs. Bindon Botting.
Arthur, Mrs. Bindon Botting is one of the best-known people in the district.
Her husband's on the London Stock Exchange.
They have a lovely house just outside Folkestone.
And a pied-à-terre in Kensington.
I don't have to go or anything, do I?
Oh, of course. I told Mrs. Botting you'll be delighted. We're all going.
Everyone who matters will be there.
Sidney Rebel is coming down, too.
Who's he?
You must have heard of him. Everyone reads his novels.
He wrote Passionate Genesis, you know.
He has such a vital personality.
Anagrams, 4 to 6:30 p.m.
It's an anagram tea. Each guest has an anagram pinned on, and you go around with a card and guess other people's.
I understand it's sweeping the drawing rooms of Mayfair.
I couldn't do that. Not just yet.
It's quite simple.
Just couldn't.
But it's really jolly. Shakes everybody up together marvelously.
I don't want to be shook up.
You'll have to meet people sooner or later.
I know, but...
Arthur, you do want to please me, don't you?
You know I do.
Hello, Gibbs, big boy.
Hello, Huggins. It's nice to be a gentleman.
Oh, what a life, eh?
Seen her ladyship lately?
No.
I run into her along of old Sir William t'other day. She asked to be remembered to you. You know, old Sir William's gout is something dreadful. We don't hardly ever see him in the club these days. Yeah.
Do you think we should be getting back now, Chester?
Yes, it is getting late.
Yeah. Which way are you going, Kipps?
Thank you. But I don't think we're in need of your society, you know.
I thought you was alone.
I think that was simply frightful, Cheek.
I know, but they didn't mean anything. See, I used to know them.
That's no reason why they should be so beastly familiar.
Well, I don't see why not. I was with them for years in the shop. They've got a right to talk to me, haven't they?
Yes, Arthur, of course they have. I don't see what else you could have done.
Quite.
These things are bound to happen while we're here in Folkestone, but presently we shall be living in London. We shall build up our own little circle of friends, and then everything will be different.
London?
fine, did well. I got all the way to the waiter, just sing you a song. And thanks for allowing me to tell you, you're a bad, wicked man. So are you. Don't you touch me. Don't you push me. Don't you shove me. Hello, Anne.
Why, Artie,
Oh, fancy seeing you here.
you made me jump. I didn't see you coming.
What are you doing down here, Anne?
It's only a couple of bus fare from my place.
Oh, yes, you're working in folks now, aren't you?
Been here quite a bit now.
How are you getting on?
Might be worse. I generally come down here on my afternoon off. It eases the feet a bit after running up and down the stairs all day. I don't know why people must have basement kitchens.
Just to make it harder, I expect.
I expect so. Well, I'm going in now.
Well, do you mind if I walk up the beach with you?
Do you think you ought?
Why not?
Well, I'm only in service, and if your friends was to see you with me...
Oh, bad. That doesn't matter.
You sure you aren't going anywhere?
No, I was just mooching about. I'll wait for you.
You do look smart.
West End tailor. Do you like it?
I'm going to put my stockings on now, Artie.
Oh, all right.
Must be nice having everything you want.
Oh, yes, I live in my own house and meet people, educated people, and go for walks and read poetry, go to chamber concerts. Well, have a good time all round.
Must be nice. It's a bit different from being in the drapery.
Rather.
I've got my stockings on now, Artie.
Yeah, of course, I miss the chaps from the shop sometimes. You know, old Buggins and Pierce.
Don't you ever see him now?
It's not the same. You'd be surprised at the things that have happened to me lately, Anne. Sometimes I'm surprised myself.
Artie, are you happy?
Well, yes, I was just going to tell you. Well, why shouldn't I be happy?
Oh, I expect it was silly of me. I was just wondering.
Well, I ought to be happy. I'll be lucky enough, haven't I?
Yes, of course.
Those were good times we had together, you and me and Sid, weren't they, Anne?
They were there.
You remember when I asked you to be my girl?
Yeah. Seems a long time ago now.
Oh, I don't know. Seems like yesterday to me.
Does it? I'll have to be getting back, or I'll be late. You got the time on you, Artie?
It's just on 8:30.
Oh, Laura, I've got to be in by 9.
Still got my half sixpence, see?
I always kept mine somehow.
Funny, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Awfully glad I met you again, Anne.
So am you. I thought at first you'd change, but you're just the same, really.
Am I?
I met people here and there, but I never met anyone quite like you, Artie.
Anne, those things that have happened, what I was going to tell you about, only...
Yes, Artie.
Done it hard, Gibbs. I never meant to. I don't know what come over me.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, kissing her and not even telling her you're engaged.
I started to tell her, but
It's not as if you was in love with her.
I suppose not.
You've got to think of your position and stop flirting with servant girls. That's what you call being loyal to Helen.
Well, she won't know.
Supposing you were seen, how would you ever face Helen at the anagram tea?
Who says I'm going to any blooming anagram tea?
It's quite easy. An anagram is just a word with the letters rearranged. Take the word smug, for instance. Gums would be an anagram.
Or, of course, mugs.
Exactly. G-U-M-S, S-M-U-G, M-U-G-S. You follow, Kip?
Mugs.
Ah, here we are.
Now, don't worry, my dear chap. I assure you it'll be jolly good fun.
Chester or Ronnie will help you.
Mrs. Bindon Botting.
Yes, sir. Will you come in?
Anne.
No. Ah, Mrs. Walshingham.
My dear. How nice to see you. And you, my dear. And Mr. Cooper.
How do you do?
May I introduce my fiancé, Mr. Kipps?
How do you do?
Oh, I must congratulate you, both of you. You're a very lucky man, Mr. Kipps. It was nice of you all to come. And Andy, Mr. Kipps's hat. Now let's go in. The anagram's in full swing. Dear, these maids, but you'll soon be experiencing a certain problem yourself.
Yes, I expect so.
Anagram. Now, will you each take one? Will you take yours?
Thanks. So amusing.
Oh, my dear, Sidney Revel's here. Oh, really? He was just this minute asking for you.
Mother.
Now, come along.
Here we are. Sir Bob. Now you know what to do. Just trot around and guess.
Sir Bob.
What fun.
Arthur?
I assure you, more marriages have been wrecked by the persistent fidelity of the husband than anything else. He very nearly wrecked mine.
Oh, Mr. Revel, I really believe you're quoting from one of your own rather risque novels.
Dear lady, I admit it.
Sydney is more than usually devastating this afternoon.
But I'm in devastating company.
I want you to meet Mr. Revel. This is my fiancé, Mr. Kipps.
Oh, really? Oh, my dear fellow, how'd you do?
How'd you do?
Sit down. Sit down. Oh, I know that one.
What another? Really, Mr. Revel. We'd better hurry, or else he'll be sure to win. Come along.
It's apparently the only prize that's left for me to carry off, eh?
Mr. Revel.
Oh, I think I'm wanted. Will you forgive me?
Of course. Have you guessed any anagrams, Arthur?
Well, not many, I'm afraid.
Never mind, you soon will. You know, you look very nice. I'm quite proud of you.
Sugar, madam?
Thank you.
Sugar, sir?
And two, please.
Thank you. Move about, dear, won't you? You're sure to be able to guess some.
And
I think you dropped this, sir.
Oh, hello, Arthur.
Hello.
I think I did rather a nice bit of business for you this afternoon.
Oh, thanks.
Ah, Kipps, and how go the anagrams, eh? What, nothing? My dear fellow, come. Look, I'll give you a start, shall I? Now, for instance, I'm Lumbonice. What do you think that means, eh? Why, Columbine, of course.
Yeah, just a minute. Anne, take this back.
I don't want it.
Well, I must speak to you.
You can't, not here.
Well, I got to.
You said enough the other day.
Now, listen.
Oh, Mr. Kipps, you're not going already.
Yes, I must.
We haven't finished the guessing.
I've got to. I'm not feeling very well.
Oh.
It's nose bleeding. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hurry up, Anne. There are lots of people who haven't had tea.
Yes, madam.
And Mr. Kipps has just left.
What?
Surely not.
He said he felt ill.
How very odd.
What on earth's the matter with you? Well, really, these names. Lots of tears, too.
Unrequited love, perhaps.
Probably some fatal Folkestone Guards.
Come in here.
I've been a fool. Anna. Anne, I want to marry you. I must.
Can't go marrying everybody. You've got to marry her.
No, Anne, no. You'll have to come up to London with me and marry me right away before anyone else can.
London? I couldn't.
Oh, why not?
I haven't given notice here.
What's that matter?
Besides, it wouldn't be fair to Anne. You haven't treated me right, either.
No, I know I haven't. I've been all wrong. I just didn't know what I wanted, but I do know now, Anne. Anne, will you come? Well, I should do something desperate. If you don't come with me, I should go out and... Well, I'm going.
Artie, I'll do it. That's for me.
No, we've got to go now.
Well, what about my box? It's upstairs.
Oh, never mind your box.
But it's got all my things in it.
I'll buy you 100 boxes in London. Come.
What? This?
Like anything. Who cares?
Oh, dear.
If we don't now, we'll never. Coming.
Artie, I wouldn't do this for everyone, mind you.
Come on.
What's this?
Prehistoric gardens. They're monsters.
Oh. Makes you wonder how they ever got enough to eat.
Oh, I expect everything was all in proportion when they was alive.
Oh, I see.
You lost your glove, Mrs. Kipps?
You know very well I haven't.
Showing off your wedding ring, eh?
Oh, what if I am?
Oh, I don't mind.
Oh, Artie, we're at the Crystal Palace. It's public. What's that called?
Him? He's, Labyrinth.
Oh, I don't think I ever heard of that.
Well, I'm blowed. It's just like old Coot.
It's extinct.
Yeah, he's like old Coot all the same.
I wonder what she's thinking. Artie, you'll have to go and see her.
Oh, I'd have been to see her already if she hadn't gone away.
Do you think there'll be any trouble?
How do you mean? Well, breach your promise. Oh, no, I don't think they'd do that. I'll apologise and offer damages to her brother. And he's still my solicitor, you know. Well, anyway, we're married. They can't alter that.
Be nice to have an house of our own.
Rather. You'll know all about what the servants is up to anyhow.
We're not going to have servants.
Oh, you'll have to, you and him.
What, not hardly be able to go into my own kitchen?
Well, we've got a position to keep up now, you know.
Artie, I don't like to have to say it, but I don't like Hewington a bit.
Why, ever not?
Well, for one thing, it's got a basement, and I've had quite enough of basements. And another thing, it's too big. Artie, couldn't we go somewhere smaller?
Well, I suppose we could let it. Dear, I know. Why don't we build a house of our own?
Build one?
Just like you want it. No basement or anything.
Do you think we could?
Well, why not? I'll see an architect as soon as we get back.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's having houses built by men that makes all the work and trouble.
Well, you can tell him just how you want it. What do you say, Anne?
Would be nice, Artie. Just 2 reception rooms and a modern kitchen.
And a study for me. Oh, can't you just see it, Anne?
Just a little house, Artie, sort of cosy.
Tea time with a cat on the hearthrug and kettle on the hob.
And buttered toast and muffins.
And you, Anne?
Bow windows, 1 rough cast gable, 1 half-timbered ditto in plaster, a loggia in the Italian fashion, a Gothic-style porch and Tudor hall, and a conservatory, much appreciated in the summer months.
Very nice, but it is a bit on the big side, like, isn't it?
You think so? Don't forget that you asked for an unusually large kitchen, 20 feet square with a window seat.
We want the girl to be comfortable.
Quite, but we couldn't very well build a house with the domestic quarters the largest feature, could we?
We only asked for 3 bedrooms.
3 principal bedrooms, plus, of course, the servants, your husband's dressing room, the box room, bathroom and separate office, very modern feature there. And you may remember we just touched upon the necessity for a nursery, at some future date, of course.
Yes, I believe I did mention that.
Very well, then.
Well, would you mind if I had a word about it with Mrs. Kipps?
Well, by all means.
Plan of house for Arthur Kipps, SQ.
It's nothing like what we told him.
I know, but what are we going to do?
Tell him we'll have it like we said. Only 3 bedrooms and no conservatory or anything, or we'll go elsewhere. Go on. Go on, I'll wait here.
All right, I'll go.
Of course, we could add a billiard room quite easily. Here, for instance.
No, it's better what I said. Here. No doubt about it, that's an house.
Ah, Mr. Kipps. Well?
Well, I've been talking about it with Mrs. Kipps, and we thought perhaps we ought to have something a bit smaller.
Smaller?
Oh, like we said, 3 bedrooms and no conservatory and...
My boy, that might be very nice for some little whippersnapper of a tradesman, but not for a gentleman.
Exactly.
Whereas this is an house.
Yes, I can see that, Uncle, but we can always build onto it later.
Build onto it. You've got a position to keep up now. Believe me, you can't be comfortable in this world unless you do.
Precisely.
You see that, don't you?
Yes, Uncle, I can see that plain enough.
I don't want to press you, Mr. Kipps, but I have got another appointment.
Well, come on, Artie, make up your mind.
Then I'll forward you the estimate. Goodbye, Mrs. Kipps. I'm sure you'll be very satisfied.
And don't forget that there billiard room.
Billiard room? Artie, what have you done?
We're having it.
What?
Well, yes, all of it.
Artie. You've no right to have done such a thing, Artie, landing us with a place like that. You say you'll build a house because Ewington's too big, and then you go and pick one that's a lot bigger. Where's the sense in it?
I know it's a decent size, but...
Think of the cleaning. 3 servants have been lost in that house. I did want it to be a little house, Artie.
Oh, look here, Em, why shouldn't we have servants? Uncle's right, we've got a position to keep up.
Servants? There's servants for you. Look at that.
What?
That fireplace.
What's wrong with it?
Hasn't been black for days. It's bad enough having 1 servant. Heaven knows what it'd be like having 3.
As a matter of fact, we ought to have a bigger house. No reason why not.
Except you promised me we wouldn't.
You can't be comfortable in this world if you don't live up to your position.
Did Uncle say that too?
Well, what if he did? Oh, what are you up to now? Well, there you go again. How many times have I told you I will not have you scrubbing floors and cleaning grates?
One thing I will not stand out, Kipps, is a dirty house.
What you've got to learn is to manage the household, not do all the work.
Yes?
Good afternoon. Is Mrs. Kipps at home? Your mistress, is she in?
Not at home.
Oh, well, perhaps you'll tell her we called. Mrs. Porritt Smith.
Anne!
I couldn't tell him who I was, Artie, not like this.
You ought to have known better than that, Anne. You ought, really.
I'm sorry, Artie.
Miss Porritt Smith, Mrs. Porritt Smith, the Reverend Porritt Smith. Here's these people, nice people, come to call on us and you slap them in the face.
Oh, I never slapped him in the face.
You sent them away, didn't you? The wife of a Reverend, too. Oh, wouldn't have had this happen for a £10 note.
I don't see the use in getting in a state about it now.
Oh, you don't you? Well, I do. I tell you what you've got to do. You must return that call.
Artie, how can I?
Well, you must just find out how many cards leave and go and leave them.
I can't face them people again after that.
Yes, you must. They won't recognise you in your Bond Street ad.
I can't.
All right, then, you can't, and off they go. We never see them again. That's what comes of blacking odds and behaving like a skivvy.
Perhaps I behaved like a skivvy because I was a skivvy.
Well, I've improved myself, and you might try at any rate.
I never ought to have married you, Artie.
Oh, don't start that again.
I'm not equal to your position. I can't live up to your big house and your servants and your visiting cards, and that's the truth. I'm sorry I married you. I never would have married you if you hadn't said you'd do something desperate. So you better go out and get one of them divorces.
Well, all right. If that's them again, you've got to come down, see, and apologise.
Telegram for Kipps.
Oh, thanks.
Any answer?
No. No, thank you.
Artie, what is it?
What is it? From Ronald Walshingham. Wants me to come to his office urgent. Well, you can guess what that's for, can't you? Breach of promise. Breach of promise, and my wife wants a divorce. I wish I'd never been born.
This way, Mr. Kipps.
Is your brother...
He isn't here. I sent that telegram.
I've been trying to see you. I wanted to apologize, like, about you and...
Oh, it's not that. I asked you to come because there's something that I must tell you. Now that you're here, I don't know how to do it. You see, it's very bad news.
Oh, what's happened?
My brother's gone. Run away. Arthur, he's made a terrible mess of everything. Everything of yours. It's my fault. I ought to have warned you.
I don't understand.
Sorry to be so indirect. It isn't very easy. I'm trying to tell you that my brother has ruined you. We didn't know when money went. Not until I got his letter telling me the whole miserable story and begging that I should ask you not to take proceedings. Yes, it's as bad as that.
What did he do?
What he would call backing his own judgment. What I believe the police would call converting to his own use.
You mean I've nothing left?
I should have warned you. But in the circumstances, it was a little difficult.
Oh, yes. Oh, I suppose I'd better be going.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I've got to realize it. Oh, nothing about that anyway.
Oh, thank you. You're so good.
What'll you do?
Why, I shall go on. I think I once told you that I was too ambitious. Ambitious for security and the right people and not having to bother about keeping up appearances. Well, I still am.
Tea ready, Artie?
Have you?
Why, Artie? What's the matter?
Oh, it's gone.
What?
Our money, all of it. My brother took it.
Artie?
We're ruined. We haven't a penny left. Oh, Anne.
There, Artie. Tell me in a minute. Have a cup of tea first, won't you? I'll make you some buttered toast just the way you like it. You've still got me and I've got you. We'll find a way.
Oh, you've been wonderful about it, Anne. Really, you have. We have been happy together somehow, haven't we?
Yes, Artie, we have.
I'm sorry I spoke to you like I did this afternoon. I've been a fool altogether.
Never mind. You try and go to sleep now.
Yeah, I'll try.
Oh! What's that?
Hey, must be next door.
It's us.
Oh, there.
I don't know who it can be this time of night.
Kipps, old boy! Oh! You nearly got a lump of gravel in your eye that time, old boy.
What's the matter, Chitlow? You all right?
Me? I'm magnificent. I'm terrific. Come on, Kippy. Come on,
All right,
Kippy. Come
I'll
on
be
down
down
with me. Whoa! Come on, old dear. Hurry up. Come on, Kipps. Come on, old racehorse.
Shh, the neighbours.
Hello, Kipps, old boy. Did I get you out of bed? The-day, dear old Kippy.
Oh, what is it, Chitlow?
Where's the little woman? Can't leave her out of this.
She's in bed, Chitlow.
Good.
Chitlow, you can't go there.
What ho!
Yeah, Chitlow, what's up?
Kipps, my dear old lad, my dear old boy, my play, my play. I'm knocked, old boy. I'm sorry I'm knocked. Oh, what a night.
Something gone wrong?
Wrong? No, it's a success. I'm a success, a howling success. And it's knocked me, old boy. Crying like a baby all the way down. I've just come for the first night. Laugh, they never stop. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Well, why weren't you there?
Well, you never told me.
Didn't I? No, that's right. I thought it might flop. All the other plays had flopped. I'd spent your money all ready to do a duck and run and then biff. They liked it. They went mad. The bit with the butterfly. Butterfly down Popple's neck. Flutter, flutter, flutter. They screamed, they howled, and then the curtain. Down it came. Biff. This is Mrs. Kipps, I take it.
Yeah, that's right. This is Mr. Chitterlow.
How do you do? Laugh, laugh. Even I laugh.
Mr. Chitterlow's had a big success with his play.
Oh, has he?
The papers, the notices, terrific, sensational. Read them. And I'm glad for you too, old boy.
Me? Why me?
Why, your half share, of course. I always remember my friends when I'm successful.
You mean to say?
You're all right, take it from me. It'll run a year, perhaps two. And that means money, cash, the box office, the libraries, week by week pouring in. If you'd heard him, you'd know.
Really?
Oh, Lady Whortleberry, come in, get yourself at last. Let's drink to what's coming to us.
Excuse me, Mr. Kipps. Excuse me. Thank you. Another check from old Chitlow, Ann.
Oh, how is he?
He's all right. He's writing a tragedy now. Says that's what he was really cut out for. How's young Artie? Chuck-a-dee, old man.
Let's have the towel out. Penny for him, Art.
I don't know that I was thinking of anything much, really. Perhaps I was just thinking what a rum go everything is.
Remember I used to say, you can't be happy in this world if you don't live up to your position. Silly, isn't it?
Funny old Art.
Ain't I? I don't suppose there was ever a chap quite like me before. Oh, I don't know, though.